Hey fight fans, welcome back to Greatest Hits here on Boxing Legends TV. Today we'll be taking a look at the 1990s Fighter of the Decade and former Olympic silver medalist Roy Jones Jr. Jones Jr. turned pro on May 6, 1989, just a few months after his Olympic efforts. He faced off with Ricky Randall at the Civic Center in Pensacola, Florida. April 3, 1992. Roy had already racked up 16 wins, all by way of knockout, and was ready to square off with Art Serrano in Reno, Nevada.
Obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves now, let's get to it.
Or was a Fenway Park, and he lost on a 3-2 decision of the Olympic Award.
Roy started fast, and after just a few seconds, it was apparent that Serrano would be lucky to make it to round 2. And that's when Roy landed the punch that would later be remembered as the exorcism of Serrano.
He says, I don't have to become nothing, I already am his father.
Oh, wow. Big right hand by Roy Jones. That will finish it. Forget about it. Art Serrano got hit with an overhand right. It's the lead right. No, it's a small jab as a rangefinder went in before it. And Art Serrano, who told me today, he thought he would score the knockout.
May 22, 1993. Roy faced off with Bernard Hopkins for the vacant IBF middleweight title at the RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. Both men had built up impressive winning streaks, Jones being undefeated in his 21 bouts, and Hopkins on a 22-fight win streak since a loss in his pro debut.
Unless we touch him. Touch him up, guys. Come on. God bless. Let's rock.
Trying to become Philadelphia's first middleweight champion ever. Would you believe it? He's gaining confidence, but maybe he loses some after that right hand by Jones. Hopkins is one. Spent 4 years in prison doing hard time for a chain snatching.
Good combinations by Roy Jones. Right hand, left hook, and there's another left hook, right hand.
Right hand landed inside for Jones.
Again, an unorthodox punch, Jim. I mean, these are combinations I've never seen before.
After a closely contested fight, the decision was left to the judges at ringside.
To 112 for the winner by unanimous decision, and now the IBF middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
November 18th, 1994. Roy faced off with rising star James Toney at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. The fight was being built up as the best middleweight fight of the 90s, with Jones being undefeated in his 26 fights and Toney undefeated in his first 46 bouts. Someone's O had to go.
There's a quick right hand by Jones, and it looked okay there. Couple of body shots by Jones.
He's not protecting his chin. He got it up there, though.
Tony hasn't found many openings.
And there was the quickness of Jones again. He made Tony miss and nailed him with 2 of those unorthodox punches. They come from all angles.
Roy started off better, throwing fast combinations and leaping left hooks in the opening rounds. And then, in round 3, he scored the first and only knockdown in the fight.
Showboating by Jones. He tempts fate, I think. Left hook, and down goes Tony.
You know, his seat never hit the canvas.
But they're going to call it a knockdown anyway.
Being completely outsped in this fight so far.
Jones looks fast against everybody, but he certainly looked faster against Tony than some might have suspected.
Roy continued to dominate the fight, landing unorthodox punches from angles so unusual and unprecedented that even a defensive master like James Toney could do nothing about it. September 30th, 1995. Jones defended his IBF crown against rugged tough man Tony Thornton in his hometown of Pensacola, Florida.
Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands. Come out boxing at the bell.
Hard left hook by Jones. as Roy tries to come with another left hook. Now Roy getting fancy as he polo punches with the right hand.
Roy was having a punch-perfect performance in the first 2 rounds, and just on the bell he landed a leaping left hook.
It was before the bell. It was before the bell. Orton gets up easily. Can't punch back.
Come on, Tony, gotta fire. Gotta fire, Tony. Gotta fire. That's it. That's it, that's it.
That'll do it. Utterly destroying an opponent who had never previously been knocked out in a 44-fight professional career.
And that looked like about a 44-punch combination.
October 4th, 1996. Jones faced 16-0 unbeaten prospect Bryant Brannan in Madison Square Gardens, and Brannan made his intentions known as soon as the first bell rang.
See the muscles bulging as he races across the ring and launches a wild right to the body, and Roy Jones stands in a peekaboo as Bryant Brannan throws about 8 wing punches in a row.
Although Brannan started explosively, it was clear that it had little effect on Jones, who simply sucked it up and then unleashed his own punches.
Here we go. And again, Brannan having trouble for the moment, staying on his feet. Lipton watching closely. Jones blinding Brannan with his overwhelming hand speed. They were so psyched for the possibility of Bryant putting up a big fight against Roy Jones. And their man is...
Jones felt Brannan had taken enough punishment and that the ref should have stopped the fight, but Jones was told to continue, and so he did.
And then Jones says, look, you want more? Okay. A convincing case.
I'm with you.
November 22nd, 1996. Just 1 month after his KO over Bryant Brannan, Jones decided it was time to move up from super middleweight to light heavyweight, and he challenged the 3-weight world champion and respected 175-pounder Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum for the WBC interim title.
Down when he jabs. And this boy can make you pay. Roy Jones can make you pay for dropping your hand.
As he just did there with a counter right over the top of McCallum's jab. Certainly McCallum is following his fight plan. Roy Jones lands a right cross. McCallum takes it pretty well.
Jones looked just as sharp and fast as he did at his previous weight and won a complete shutout on the judges' scorecards in a 12-round unanimous decision. March 21st, 1997. Jones faced undefeated WBC light heavyweight champion Montel Griffin at the Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Despite Roy scoring a knockdown in round 7, the judges rightfully had the fight even on the scorecards, and in round 9, Jones would lose his first fight in 35 due to what appeared to be an act of desperation or perhaps just a mistake in the moment.
Big right hand. And Griffin is hurt. No question about it. Griffin is hurt.
Jones looking to finish. Griffin wobbling a little bit. Jones comes in and lands the right hand lead again. And a couple of left hooks. And Griffin's knee goes down. And Jones lands 2 punches after Griffin's knee was on the canvas. And now Griffin slumps forward. And Tony Perez starts the count.
We are being told that Roy Jones is going to be disqualified and will lose his title.
The Jersey State Commissioner,
I don't think
Larry
they have any
Hazzard,
other
is in the
choice.
ring.
They have no choice. Can they overrule the referee?
August 7th, 1997. Jones got his rematch against Montel Griffin and would silence critics as he scored a first-round knockout to win the WBC light heavyweight
Very much on the
championship.
defensive with 50 seconds to go in round number 1. Huge round for Roy Jones so far.
Roy Jones is playing the fainting game, and Griffin is benefiting by it. Oh, what a left hook. What a left hook.
Second knockdown of the round.
That was a leaping left hook, and Griffin may not survive it.
He's got trouble. And that's that. Jones gets his vindication via a first-round knockout.
April 25th, 1998. Jones faced arguably the greatest light heavyweight from the previous 10 years, Virgil Hill, who had made 22 title defenses at 175 pounds. The opening rounds were tentative, but Jones appeared to be getting the better of his man, and then in round 4, Jones would land a body shot that is still regarded today as one of the most brutal punches ever landed, breaking multiple
Winning the
ribs.
fight, just Virgil's making it difficult for him.
Oh, so that is a big shot by Jones, and a terrific shot. Hill may not be able to get up. He's acting as if he broke a rib. What a titanic shot by Roy Jones Jr., and that's it.
One shot to the ribs. Mike, look at it, he's still slumping down. What a shot.
What a bomb by Roy Jones, and a guy that has not put fighters away with the right hand or with the one punch. You've seen the left hand all the way, and that is a new way for Roy Jones to end a fight, and that is just dynamic.
That's you learn something every time you see this man get in the ring. You wonder how his punches would do to the chins of heavyweight. That punch drops anybody in any division.
March 1st, 2003. Jones would make the leap from light heavy all the way up to heavyweight, taking on WBA world champion John Ruiz, who had won his title from the great Evander Holyfield just a year prior.
He's the best fighter in the world today, and he makes it look easy. But he's never been hit by a heavyweight. So when Roy Jones Jr. steps up to the ultimate division, when he takes on heavyweight champ John Ruiz, he better be ready, or he's gonna learn they don't call him heavyweights for nothing.
When I tell you to break, I want you to break. Step back. Let's go to work.
Right hand over the top by Jones. Already Jay Nady has been very active.
When you can see Jones have that much time and nothing
Solid
going
left
on.
hook. And Ruiz comes back with his own left hook and lands the first big right hand. And Jones lands a left in return. And they're fighting in the center of the ring.
Despite Jones suffering a 33-pound weight disadvantage, he had little problem in the fight and won a 12-round unanimous decision.
Mr. Dulu sees the bout 118 to 110. All three in favor of the winner. Joining boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
This would be Roy Jones' last graceful victory. Despite moving back down to light heavyweight in his next fight and defeating Antonio Tarver, Roy looked a shell of his prime self, and in their rematch, Roy suffered a brutal knockout defeat that he would never fully recover from. He lost 8 more fights to people he would most likely have destroyed in his prime, and won 14 against no notable names outside of a washed-up Felix Trinidad in 2008. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to leave a like as it really helps out our channel. Until next time, this is Boxing Legends TV signing off.